Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm talking to someone else who was a part of our Gateway experience here in Ghana, June 2021. His name is Isaac Crumpton Jr. He is representing the DMV and by way of North Carolina and a few other places. Well, I guess North Carolina, DMV, and all of that. Multiple degree holder, very sharp young man. I've been on a mission to bring brothers back to see for themselves. So Isaac, I'm glad that you joined me, man. So let's talk a little bit about your experience. First, why did you decide to come to Ghana?
Well, I mean, from the get-go, it's always been like a life goal of mine to come to Africa. And, when this opportunity came up, I just felt like this was probably like the best route to go as far as, going for the first time and everything. This is my first time ever going and stuff. But it was always a life goal and I had to make it a priority of mine to get there and make it happen.
No, you said that. That's interesting. You said you had to make it a priority of yours. Walk me down that a little bit. What do you mean?
I just think like growing up, where I, in North Carolina, I was in a small city and stuff, and just being the minority there and figuring out, okay, what's my history beyond, growing up here in Lumberton. This is where where my mother was raised, and her parents was raised there and everything. But I'm like, what? How about like 100, 200, 300 years ago? Where did we come from? Where were we at then as our family and stuff? And those are just some questions that just kind of came up growing up and stuff, and me wanting to figure out, where it started.
So curiosity.
Yeah.
More or less. Yeah. All right. So now you made it. Now you're under 40. So just say, brother's under 40. So he made it before 40. That's a beautiful thing. It took me until like mid-40s and I finally got here. And then like James, you talked to James, and so he's 74. He finally got here. So you got this relatively early in life. Tell me what your impression was. Tell me about your experience.
I want to say probably like in high school, I had a friend who asked me what country I was from, and in Africa. Well, asked me where I was from, and I said Africa. And he's like, well, what country? And I'm like, I didn't know obviously and stuff. So from there, that's kind of like where the thought came of coming out to getting to Africa and making a mission. Now getting here and the experience, it was just like wow, like how things were, the transportation, the
skill of the drivers.
The skill of the drivers, yeah. And it's just like just seeing the differences and stuff, This is actually just my third time leaving the country and stuff. So
where else have you been?
I've been to Mexico and I've been to Santiago, Chile.
Okay.
Those are the two countries. So there were some similarities and stuff,
The hustle.
Yeah, the hustle.
The hustle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I've been to Mexico. I've been to South America. And so you do see that the entrepreneurial effort
spirit. Yeah. And it was some similarities there that I kind of braced myself for and everything, and but everyone's been pretty nice, and everything.
What do you think? Do you think that the Africans don't like us?
I didn't see an issue with them. I mean, I felt like they were relatively nice to me. My whole time here, very helpful, and with everything and stuff. So I didn't see anything.
Because that's what they tell us in America. That's true. They say, them Africans don't like us.
Yeah,
I'm not going in. And my ancestors bled and died in America without realizing that the ancestors, who were their ancestors, and we have common ancestors, and stuff like that. You hear this stuff, and you're like, go ahead.
Yeah, that's part of the reason. Like, I kind of waited to the week before, to kind of like really announce this, that I was going, because
explain that.
Yeah, it was just like, there's been a lot of like, things told to me as far as like, being here, the things that get me to get here, like, oh, you have to take a whole bunch of shots. Oh, you have to, there's going to be problems when you get there. You're going to get bit by this, and all this stuff is going to happen. You're going to get hurt, sick, or something, and come back with something. And then it's just like, to me, it just felt like, I was kind of in a, pretty, safe place. I haven't had any issues. The only shot I had to take, was the yellow fever.
So you didn't take 12 shots?
No, not 12. So, it was just, it all worked out, it all worked out.
So what are some things that you take away as far as some of your biggest memories from this trip?
Wow, there's so many memories. I would say like the biggest memory would probably be seeing the first place we went to, the first president of Ghana. He's actually one of my fraternity brothers, and that really meant a lot to me. Like, wow, I'm kind of feel like I'm contributing to remembering his legacy and stuff.
And so, what fraternity are you a part of?
I'm a member of Phi Beta Sigma fraternity incorporated.
All right. So, and Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, he was also a Sigma.
Yes.
A lot of people don't know that he had went to school. I believe it was Lincoln.
Yes, that's right.
And he very well traveled. He had a tremendous network and did a lot, not just for Ghana, but also for the entire continent of Africa. And he was his authority was usurped in a coup that was headed up by the CIA of the United States. And so that's what ended up happening. They were unable to kill him, but they were able to remove him from power. So just kind of put that in there, drop them nuggets in there, so people understand, what was going on. So that part with Dr. Nkrumah resonated with you. Give me something else. Anything else stuck out to you?
Oh man, I
know it's a lot.
I want to say the naming ceremony. That really had a big impact on me and everything, and getting our names and everything as a group and stuff, and just the celebration that we had for that, the dances and everything, and it was just like my name it meant Tuesday, so or born on Tuesday.
Do you remember it right offhand?
Kwabena.
Okay, yeah.
And that meant Tuesday, and I was born on Tuesday, so that kind of like okay, that's really worked and worked for me. So
the naming ceremony stuck out to you. What were your thoughts about the dungeons?
Oh, man, those were pretty what's the right word? Intense, almost emotional places and stuff for me, and just the thought of what was going on there. Like I have to, it's really even hard to like.
Process it. It takes a minute. It takes you'll get back to the States and you'll start processing.
Yeah. And I just, these are human beings, and they're being treated like that, and it's just like wow, it's really mind blowing, and to see like someone, treating people like that, people that look like me like that and stuff, and but it's good to have the experience to see like a lot of my questions got answered on this trip that I had when I was younger, as far as where we come from and what happened and how did we get to where I'm from, we're born and everything and stuff. So a lot of my questions got answered and stuff. So and I'm very thankful for this experience and this trip, and it just it meant a lot to me.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that you trusted me for bringing you here and awesome. Walking you through the process. Now, this is one question I know some people might have. Were you able to eat?
Yeah. The food here was great. Everything,
I'm trying to make sure I cover all the bases, because people say, "Am I going to be able to eat? What's going to happen to me?"
Yeah.
So we had great food. You had great company. You had a great group of people.
Yeah.
And you brought your own flavor to the. It was like I tell everybody. I said this was such a great group because each person brought their own flavor to the group, and I'll always remember the group because it's our inaugural trip during COVID or post COVID or COVID times or whatever. How did that impact you as far as traveling during these times? Because I know you said you didn't tell the family you were getting ready to do some things until maybe a week before the trip.
A week before, and so I think that was probably a good move, because I probably would have gotten talked out of it and stuff, or just like safety reasons and stuff, and the fear of like something might happen and everything. But this is like I'm just kind of glad I went out there and stuff. Now I put this off for me I know there's others that put it off for way longer than I have, but it's just like I said, it's just something that has been a life goal for me, like since I was like a teenager and stuff. So it felt like a long time to me, but
no, you did good. You got here right when you were supposed to.
Yeah,
you
that's
got here
right.
on time. And that's the deal. That's for all of us. We all came, even James. We all came when we were supposed to. And for you, That's the deal. We're here to inspire you to understand that these narratives that they're telling us. I mean, you can go places and find some of the most horrible things if that's what you want to go look for. You can find that in America, in any country in the world. But one of the beautiful things about Africa is that it is so diverse, and you can find opportunities to serve. You can find opportunities to invest. You can find opportunities to, if it's leisure, if you want entertainment, if you want culture, if you want history, if you want fashion, everything that you want is somewhere on this continent. To the point where you don't even have to travel to America or Europe or any place else, because really Africa, the continent, is like a melting pot of all of those places as well. What would you say to young people who may be, I'll say, teenagers into early 20s? How would you encourage them, or would you encourage them to come visit at their age?
I would 100% encourage young people to, like, if they have the opportunity, the time, and the resources to go, then go ahead and go and get your experience, so you can, understand, where you come from, and what Africa is all about and everything. I think this is a great experience for first timers, trying to, get out there and, get an idea of what Africa's like. I think Ghana, in this trip was a great place for me to start. So yeah, I would definitely 100% recommend, this being your first experience, for those that come.
All right. Well, Isaac, I want to thank you again for trusting me with this journey. And again, when you can tell, like for us, like for those watching, they can tell when people have not had a good time. Yeah. We can read that thing. We know, like, nah. Yeah, but you can look at the clips. You can see he was on the canopy walk.
Yeah, canopy walk.
He's made it through it. But for you and your family, we're having multi-generational trips. If you want to, another thing that we're going to be looking to do is if you want to have destination weddings, you want to have destination family reunions. Those are the different things that you can do here on the continent. And again, it's all in our mind, what we're telling ourselves. Can we do it? Sure, you can do it. If you plan for it, you prepare for it, you're a family for generations. The young ones, to the seniors, to the millennials and Gen Xers. You put that thing together the right way, and it can be something that the family talks about for generations to come. And for those who want to connect with the continent on some level, and maybe you want to do your destination wedding, then that's something that you can do here as well. All of the accommodations, they have all the facilities. If you need the DJ, some of the best DJs, they can rival any DJ in America. It's all in what you want. They have live bands, everything. So those are the things to consider. But this gentleman here, he said it perfectly. From a teenager, he said he was putting it off, but he prioritized it. And so now he's here. He's had this experience. When he gets back, he can process it and see where it goes from there. So Isaac, man, I appreciate it, bro. Right, and again, thank you for trusting me with this journey.
Thank you.
All right.